talking about topics now a bit less serious than the previous one. Um, so you might have heard that there are lights in the sky, drones around cities in the US now. And I assume that these are drones, like there's no reason to assume otherwise. But it's strikingly similar to UFOs, right? I mean, I've seen it, it looks weird. Of course, we know these are drones because we know what drones can do now. But but thinking about this reminded me of something that I was thinking about while writing the theory. Which I, yeah. So I wrote this theory. I started writing it in 2021. I finished in 2024. I wrote it based on what I know, what I knew in 2021 until 2024. This is just a random point in time. There's nothing special about me writing it at this time, and it's all based on the things I know, people know in 2024. And in 10 years, people will know new things, and I'm using this knowledge that I have now, which is also like not complete, and I'm not an expert in the things that I am inspired by, and making claims that are true about the entirety of history from the beginning of the universe, and insofar as there was such a thing, which I argue that there not exactly, because all time is experiential time, and I'm making all these claims based on, let's say, on the double slit experiment, quantum field theory, and yada yada. But what if I'm just like, you know, I mean, my knowledge is provincial compared to what we will know like in 10 years, 100 years. And this entire theory is just dumb because all I know is I know so little. And like, is it responsible to even make such bold statements with such low knowledge? Well, the good news is that this theory might not be exactly that new. I mentioned this before. There is reason to interpret, say, the Bible, which has been around for thousands of years, right, as acknowledging the fact that experience is fundamental. It is in the biblical Genesis creation story, the way God is being described as an spiritual agent, the way like the created in God's image. It all seems like they're all talking about the same experiential component in all of us, the same as I explained this in the previous video. So it seems like they knew that experience is fundamental and knew and understood what that means, even though they haven't made it outspoken, and I can see why. I mean, once you understand the theory, most of the moral injunctions of the Abrahamic religions don't compare anymore, for reasons I've described in previous videos. But still, the idea was that for thousands of years, it survived for thousands of years, ideas such as this, and therefore they may survive thousands of years more. So the fact I'm mentioning the theory now, I'm just adding more details based on what we know now. And I will be able to add more details perhaps in the future, but the theory itself is fundamentally true. But then I thought, like, what am I talking about? I'm talking about aliens, talking about things that are coming from very, very far away. I completely forgot what the theory says about this. I'm because I think that they will be so technologically advanced and so have superior knowledge of me because they come from far away. Because I'm thinking in a physicalist mentality, that I'm just throwing away the theory out the window and just thinking of things in physicalist terms. What does it mean that they come from far away? Again, what is space? Space is not like the space that I perceive is just a concoction that the body produces. The same way there's a concoction that I perceive while I'm dreaming. Like I definitely don't think that the space in my dreams is the space I am perceiving in my wakeful life, but it feels the same. So and I'm serious. Like some dreams really feel vivid, so real. So, and what is space? Why is space as it is? Space is, according to the theory, just it is a way that the bodies organize the field, or the way experiential agents organize, so that they each have like a small sandbox in which they can enact choices without the whole universe, the whole not universe, the whole wakeful union, the whole thing that binds them together falling apart. So they have some degrees of freedom in which they can realize some of their what I call private blind gap, private laws of nature. And there is like a connecting substrate, which is the public blind gap, which is the laws of nature, the universal laws of nature. Basically, that's how it, and that's how it is in the theory. And far away places are just far places that there's a lot of degrees of freedom to be different. But when they come closer, they're no longer different. And so when they come closer, their physics will be my physics. When they are far away, their physics could be very different. But if they come, their physics will be my physics. So I shouldn't expect a lot of changes in that respect. Like they could have done very weird things where they come from, but when they come close, that means that there's not a lot to reconcile. But even maybe they have they will have technology. But then I'm thinking like, so what is this space? Space is just like the body is aware or is in contact with other experiential energies, just that it just puts behind the veil, puts it far away so that it won't affect here. But it's not really far away. There is no far away. So, and more than that, insofar as they are experiential agents, these aliens that come with all their technology, the fancy technology, they are, and I interact with them, then they must share my dimension of experience. Meaning that I can be them, meaning my experience can drift to become them. And they feel the same, they have the same moral compass as I do. They are completely viable candidates for me to intersect with as experience. I can, like after, let's say, it could be I've been them or I will be them. I'm not, and there's no memory of that because that's in the body. Anyway, what I'm saying is that they're not that alien. They are more like, they are not any more alien than let's say a dog is an alien. Or you are an alien to me. And then I thought that in ufology circles, they're talking about the connection between UFOs, aliens, and extra dimensionals and demonic entities. And this is all basically saying that they are behind that the body is basically hiding them, which is like with psychedelics you can perceive them. This all means that we are talking about changes of the identification threshold. I have like a map for this in the theory, so it shouldn't challenge the theory at all. And if anything, if they come, and I don't know if they ever will, I think the theory will not be become obsolete. It might actually help us understand what's going on.